Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and we're here to talk about the Rugby League World Cup final in 2022 for the 2021 Rugby League World Cup. Still seems weird that in all of the highlights videos and all that sort of stuff, it comes up as 2021 Rugby League World Cup. I know obviously COVID really stuffed it up and all the branding and all that sort of stuff, but it does seem weird to me. But in 2022, we saw the 2021 Rugby League World Cup Grand Final between Australia and Samoa. Probably something that going into the tournament, especially after the first couple of games, you probably wouldn't have said this would have been the Grand Final. Probably would have said it would have been Australia up against England, just looking at the just like the pools and that sort of stuff. Maybe New Zealand had a stretch, but realistically, I honestly didn't see Samoa go into the final. Now, once they started to get going, they made a few changes to their side. They started to click a little bit, but considering their very first game of the whole tournament ended with them having 60 put on them, I literally put a line through them and went, no chance. They had no chance. They're not good. They haven't played any warm-up games. Just like I didn't think they would not make it to the finals or anything, but I just thought there's no chance that they actually progress anywhere. They'll probably get beat by like Tonga. Instead, they beat Tonga, they beat England, and eventually ended up getting beat by Australia, but it was a valiant effort. Obviously, Australia they're just the next level. I think everybody went into this game honestly expecting Australia to do exactly what they did, and Samoa kind of went exactly how we expected them to play as well. Samoa came out hard, very unlucky to not get a 40-20. I'm not sure, maybe it could have been a 40-20 early on with Harris Tavita. I actually thought he was quite good. Obviously, a big moment in the game was him getting knocked out. However, I'll touch on that later. But look, they had lots of chances in the start and they came out firing, and Australia making errors and giving them chances. They were getting in great field position, but they just couldn't score. In fact, they didn't even really get close to actually scoring, and I think that gave Australia a lot of confidence. And for me, sitting here watching it at 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, I'm tired right now. I was tired when I was watching it, but I was still paying attention, and straight away I was like, all right, this doesn't look good for Samoa. They've had all the field position, they've had all the chances, and they've come up with absolutely nothing. And then off the back of that, they would come up with like an error, just something that wasn't even that bad, like a kick that just got caught in the in-goal, 7 tackle set, and immediately there was a line break from Valentine Holmes, and just things like that, which just changed the momentum just very, very quickly. And I think it really, really played with Samoa, and obviously Australia would go on the back and score from that. So, look, Australia just really put the dagger in very, very quickly, in my opinion. Samoa started off strong, a lot of passion. Obviously, the haka, the war dance sort of stuff, got them going. They were nose to nose. I saw, was it Brian Toyer and Cameron Munster? Then they hugged straight afterwards, which I thought was a bit strange, but there you go. But look, they came out absolutely firing. They couldn't get any points. And then Australia just went bang, bang, and they were ahead. And then they scored again, obviously. I think they were up like 14-0. Cleary's goal kicking absolutely awful this tournament, but 14-0 pretty quickly. And at that point, as soon as it was 14-0, I was like, Australia's done. Australia's home. Adokar was flying. Latrell was flying. And Samoa just didn't really have any answers. Obviously, even the whole talking point of the game, I feel like a lot of Samoa fans, and maybe some fans in general, I've seen a few saying like the referees were bad and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the 40-21, maybe. I haven't actually seen the replays. I'm not sure about that one. But, I mean, they had chances anyways, and they didn't even get close throughout that sort of time frame. And then also later on in the game, Crichton got sin binged. Now, there was an incident where the ball was dropped or something, and he just picked the ball up, turned around, and Harris Tavita was just there, like going in to make the tackle, and he sort of just put up his elbow, which is like, it is a no-go, but it is something that you see all the time. They always brace himself. It just happened to sort of get him in the head and just happened to get him really, really good. Now, I don't think he was actually trying to knock him out. Maybe a little bit of grubbiness there. He got sent to the sin bin. But Harris Tavita got knocked out in like real bad fashion. Like he was lights out. He was gone for quite a while too. But I feel like this is an incident where this stuff probably happens quite a bit. It's just they don't end up getting knocked out. Harris Tavita just got knocked out, which could be his final ever game in rugby league because he's having a sabbatical. He's not playing next year. What a player, though. I actually really like Chino Harris Tavita. I feel like a lot of Warriors fans like him. A lot of fans in the NRL like him in general. Just a tough player. Sort of hard to believe that a team like the Dolphins didn't chuck a bit of money at him just to try and get him across. But maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. He just didn't want it. But yeah, Harris Tavita, kudos to you. Great tournament, great player. Hopefully he enjoys a little bit of time off from the NRL and just from playing rugby league. But I think he's going to nurse quite a bit of a head knock, quite a bit of an injury. So maybe it's a good thing he's not playing next year, because that was a bad one. That was a really bad one. Now, like I said, I don't think it was this like absolute dog shot or anything like that. If you sort of watch it in like proper motion, I know there's all this talk about slow motion and that, but the ball goes to the ground and there's a lot of talk about, it's a dead ball situation. But like Harris Tavita still goes to make the tackle anyways, knowing it's a dead ball situation. So like, there's the catch there. So if it's a dead ball situation and you want to say Crichton shouldn't have done anything, then shouldn't Harris DeVita also done nothing as well. Therefore, like, nothing happens in general because they don't make any contact at all. Crichton sort of braces himself, which we've seen it sort of, across the fine line in NRL between players getting, penalised for raising the elbows and stuff. But I think it was sort of, he just literally turned around and chucked up the arm to brace himself for a tackle. Didn't want to get smashed. So, look, I think it was just unlucky, if anything. I don't think it was a dog shot. I don't think it deserved to be sent off or anything like that. I think a sin bin was quite fitting, and funnily enough, Australia ended up scoring anyways. Cameron Murray hit a beautiful hole. Nathan Cleary finds him, and then Australia wrapped up the game at that point. It was 20-0. I know Crichton was off, but it was wrapped up. It was done. 20-0 with 20 minutes to go, something like that. Samoa had a little bit of a flurry towards the end. I'm trying to think who actually scored. I think it was To'o in the corner. It was the right wing. I'm pretty sure it was To'o. Just Latrell going for an intercept, as he does. And then, speaking of intercepts, Stephen Crichton picked up an intercept as well. Just Ben Hunt just being a little bit sloppy, but I mean, it wasn't even that sloppy. He sort of just picked up the ball, sort of did what a lot of the dummy halves do. It's just Crichton's just a freak with his intercepts. Chucked out a hand, knocked it up, scores. And I couldn't believe how easy it was for him. It didn't even, that's something that you always think when you're watching footy. You're like, why don't they just do that? Just chuck out a hand and just knock it up. Easy as. But Stephen Crichton actually does it. He actually does it, and he's playing top grade rugby league. He's doing it on Ben Hunt from dummy half. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. I think he had a great tournament. I know he didn't have the best State of Origin performance, but in terms of every other arena, he stepped up big time. I thought Suaalii was pretty good. I mean, we're talking about players and whether they're good or not. Obviously, a lot of them were very, very good. Obviously, Samoa didn't score a lot of points, and, I'm not going to sit here and say that Harris DeVita going off, didn't have any effect on that, but they scored all their points when he was off. If you have a look at it. So I don't think that really changes too much. I think Milford ended up playing hooker, but yeah, I thought Jerome Luai was pretty good. He tried his best. You can see even at halftime they were down 14-0, and they were still sort of pumped up, which was nice to see. It was a game that the scoreline showed that Australia were ahead by a lot, and they were. Australia, at no point, in my opinion, did they ever feel like they're actually going to lose this one. Super confident, very clinical. But you could see Samoa still had the belief, and I was like, all right, they still believe. These are a lot of guys who aren't used to losing. So they came out, they played hard. Even when they were scoring with effectively the game over, like Stephen Crichton, they were coming over and celebrating like they could score, 20 points or 18 points in 10 minutes. It was never going to happen, but it was just nice to see them still trying, still passionate, still going. And I feel like I'm talking about Samoa a lot, but it's just because it's I don't want to say it's a novelty, but they're a side that you don't sort of look at and say they're going to be the grand finalists, despite them being a hell of a side on paper. Probably do fit a team that makes the grand final, but just based off how they were at the start of the tournament and just how they've been in previous years, Tonga was always the team that was going to be talked about as making the grand final. So just obviously I'm going to talk about Samoa a bit because even the Rock doing videos, I think an NFL player did videos, it got the world talking. Definitely out of Australia New Zealand, it's just another Australia New Zealand game. Australia and England, we've seen that plenty of times. Australia versus Samoa, you don't see that very often. So kudos to Samoa for getting to the grand final. I'll touch on Australia real quick. Very, very clinical, like I said. Some individual efforts, though, I think really didn't get them home, but got them going. We saw Josh Adokar just light up Samoa and go through, and he set up Tedesco, getting the second try of the game. Latrell, literally, this is what I was saying with what New South Wales missed. Essentially, Latrell and the Fox. And I think this is very evident because these are two guys who changed the momentum very, very quickly. I was talking about how Samoa started off pretty strong but couldn't get points. They had plenty of chances, but it all changed because they just give it to a guy like Valentine Holmes who make a line break. Then Tedesco would get in there and just take a good run. And all the backs just getting in there, making those little runs, and they were just getting quick play of the balls and playing off the back of that. Next minute, they just chuck it to Latrell in the last tackle, and he literally just barges his way over. Poor Suaalii just got launched. He got absolutely launched. Latrell just honestly taking the piss, to be honest. And then obviously the Adokar set up for Tedesco or Adokar there. And then they sort of just went from there, a nice run by Cameron Murray. Everybody played their part. There was no super standout in both of these sides. Sorry, in Australia, I should say. It's not like I can sit there and be like, oh, Cameron Munster, man of the match. Nathan Cleary was outstanding. They all kind of were pretty good, but they all kind of did their job. Maybe Tedesco, I would say, is someone who got in there and he did do a lot of the hard yards. Tedesco is someone, they talk about Suaalii having a good tournament, but Tedesco, he just does what he does every single game. Whether they win, they lose. He's a guy who gets in there, takes those runs, gets a quick play of the balls, just gets in and behind the ruck. Just the little dummy half runs. I don't know, he's just such a good player, great defender. I love James Tedesco. And Suoli's got some work to do if he wants to take Tedesco's spot, that's for sure, despite all the talk about how good of a tournament he's had. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end this one here. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. Let me know in the comment section below. What were your thoughts of the World Cup final? This is the first game I've actually properly watched too of the whole World Cup. So I think it kind of says a lot about the World Cup in general, just in terms of all the mismatches and all the floggings and stuff. You could easily go and watch the KO minis, or you can watch the highlights on YouTube. You can do whatever you would do. But this is the first one I got up and watched, and I don't regret it. Bit tired now, but hell of a game, hell of an atmosphere. And look, congratulations, Australia. I think we all kind of knew it was going to happen, but look, it's just confirmed. At some point, I also did sort of speculate that Samoa, or I kind of anticipated Samoa to actually maybe get the upset. So I don't know. It wasn't like a shoe-in, but like Australia definitely were like everyone's favourite for a reason, and they got the job done. 30-10, I think it was 30-10. So yeah, congratulations to both sides. Congratulations to Australia. Obviously, this is a big thing for Samoa, and just for a lot of those Pacific Island nations, just in terms of international rugby league, this is big. So congratulations to them. Definitely changed the landscape of rugby league, in my opinion. Got a lot of new eyes on it, so congratulations. But guys, let me know in the comment section below what were your thoughts of it. Did Australia deserve to win? Did Samoa deserve to make the final? All that sort of stuff. Just literally say whatever you want to talk about, whether it's about the Rugby League World Cup in general, whether it's about this game in general, let me know. Anyways, hopefully you did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT for the most part. My Facebook's Mr. Luke and everything else, including Snapchat, including TikTok, is Mr. Luke and YT. Go ahead, give me a follow, give me an ad. And guys, that's where I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Normally I'd say stay tuned for more content on the channel. I'm going to be posting this and that, but I don't really know I'm going to be posting considering the World Cup's over with. Didn't even post that many videos. The interest just wasn't there, to be honest. But the Rugby League season is coming up. Plenty of signings, like new jerseys coming out. I could do lots of videos on that too. So hopefully stay tuned for some more stuff, and we'll see how we're going. Maybe Rugby League Live 5. Probably not. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. See yous.